Hey game designers, and welcome to part 14 of the Homer animation tutorial. Um, we just finished the down frame here, so let's go ahead and just kind of recap where we're at, because I know it can get confusing when we get to this many number. Okay, so we just finished frame number 6. Let's turn up the opacity here. Okay, let's turn on frame 7, and let's turn on frame 5, right? So we have 5, 6, 7, we got 8, okay? And we're basically done, guys. We only have one more frame, and the last frame we're going to do is going to be right in between here, okay? We're not going to do this one because there's not really much difference between this frame and this frame. It's just going to move his leg up. So we're going to do the other down frame, right? So again, this is the contact frame, and we're going to finish the other down frame on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of 6 and use it as a reference. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate layer, and I'm going to rename it. Actually, I don't know what number I'm going to rename it. This is frame 12, so we're going to rename it frame 13. Okay. So again, let's go ahead and rename the copy, and we're going to call it frame 13 reference. It's not going to be a after one. It's just going to be a reference to help us make this frame. And let's go ahead and move it using the move tool. I'm going to move it all the way over here. Okay. Again, you can see that it's a little bit more down. Okay. That's what we want. Okay, let's turn off the after here. Okay, so this is the one that we want, but it's obviously on the wrong leg. So we're going to have to take this one and duplicate it, bring it over here, and use the reference to help us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move frame 13 over here, where it's between 12 and 13. Right, so we have 12, 13, 14. Okay, and we'll rename these later. It's not a big deal. Okay, so technically this should be 15. This is 14. So 16, 15, 14, 13. This is on 13. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. All right. So actually, yeah, we do have one called 14. So let's go ahead and rename this one 15, if you guys haven't redone so already. We're going to rename this one 15, which is the second to last one here. And again, we'll go back and renumber these later. It's not a big deal. Just try to get it not to be confusing here. So this will be 15. This one we're going to rename to 14. So the second from the last will be 14. And now this one will be the only 13. Okay. Let's go ahead and move these in order here. So we got 13, 14, 15, and then 16. All right. So back to 13. We're going to take a copy of 12. We're going to duplicate this one. Okay. And we're going to move the copy over here. And we're going to actually put it on top. Okay. And we're going to rename it 13 before. And I think that's all we need. A 13 and a reference. A before and a reference should be fine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the opacity to like 50% so I can see right through it. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And I'm going to basically align it vertically, the sides of Homer. Okay, and then I can always move it up and down later. So I'm going to go ahead and use the move tool using my arrow keys. Get Homer nice and lined up with his shirt. Okay, here's what you might need to zoom in. And basically, when you see less blurriness, less double stroke, you're good to go. Okay, so this is where he's going to line up. And I'm going to make a copy of the before one to make the actual frame 13. So I'm going to duplicate the actual frame 13. And this is where I'm going to leave him. I'm going to go ahead and rename it frame 13. And it's going to be low to where I want it, right? The 13 before actually needs to be moved up. So the 13 before, you're going to move it up so that it's not touching the ground. There we go, right? So we have a 13 reference, which is a copy of the down frame from before. We got the 13 before picture, which is just a copy of this. And we have the 13, the one that we're actually going to work on, okay? Let's go ahead and start with the arms. And let's just see if I can collapse some of these, make my life a little bit easier to manage here. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick collapse of anything that I don't need to see for now. And same thing with 13 reference. Everything's all nice and collapsed. Okay, so everything's nice and collapsed now. And I'm going to go ahead and lock 13 before, so I can't touch it. 13 reference, lock it so I can't touch it. Let's go to frame 13. Let's start with the right arm. I'm going to move the pivot over here. So again, the previous frame here is the contact frame. So I want to make sure that I move the contact frame a little bit more inward, right? So basically this is as far back as the arm's going to go. So it's going to start to swing inward. So I'm going to move it inward, okay? And we'll see if it's consistent with the right arm over here, okay? And let's go ahead and get started here. So we got the right arm. I'm going to turn off the shirt now. Turn off the shirt. Turn off the right arm as well. Turn off the shirt. Turn off the right arm now that we're done with that, okay? And turn off the right arm here. So I'm going to go look at the left arm now. Okay, the left arm, I'm going to move the pivot over. So again, I'm going to start swinging it inward. So I'm going to swing it more inward here, right? Because the arm is going on its way down from the contact frame. And that's all I'm going to need. So I'm going to turn off the left arm here, turn off the left arm here, turn off the left arm here. And now I'm going to focus on the right leg. So again, the right leg is going to be the front leg here. And we're going to match kind of the reference. But here's the thing though. Okay, let me just turn off the before picture real quickly. Turn off 13 before here. Okay. When I'm looking at the right leg, right, I want it to be to the left of the left leg, right? Because Homer is using a 3/4 view where he favors the left side. So the left leg should be always further than the right leg, okay, all things being equal. So when I go to the right leg and look at the shoe, right, I want the shoe, I'm going to start rotating it now, I want the shoe to the left of the left shoe, more inward, okay, because again, the left leg should always be a little bit more forward than the right leg, all things being equal. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the left shoe here, use the path select tool, and I'm going to go ahead and move this inward, try to make the shoe a little bit more squashed. Okay, maybe not this squashed. Let's go here and just drag it down a little bit, have it touch the floor, show a little bit of squash here. Okay. Go ahead and move this inward. Okay. Got a little squash going on now. Now go to the right leg. I want to do the same angle. So the same angle is kind of 130, 1230 right here, 1230, and then kind of go 45 degrees this way, which is like 1030, right? Let's go ahead and use our path select tool. Go ahead and move our knots first. Okay. Now this guy's kind of in my way. I'm going to turn off frame number 14 so I can see a little bit better. I think I'm good now. Let's go ahead and move the knee again at about 1230 and move this one somewhere equivalently like so. Okay. And now is to fix all these wobbly lines here. So kind of give it a little bit of form. Go this way, go this way, go this way. Again, the more parallel your handles are, the less sharp it will look. Okay, so if you want to have less pointiness, make your handles a little bit more straighter with each other, or parallel. And here's the hardest part for me is to make the um, legs look, the same size. That's always kind of a hard task for me. So I'm going to turn on the before picture now. And you can see here that you want it to be the same thickness kind of all the way around. Okay, so it looks like it's about the same thickness. I think I'm good with that. Okay, so that's going to be my right leg. I'm going to go ahead and move my right cuff over here. Just move the handle. Go right here. Move that handle. Go to the right leg. Move it right here. That makes it look good. Okay, so right there, that looks good. So now if I just turn off my reference altogether, I can kind of just look at my stance going on here. So it looks like I can go ahead and move the right leg a little bit more down here and then move my cuff a little bit more down. Okay, so now it's time to work on the back left leg here. So let's go ahead and move on to the left leg. And I should be on the left leg here. So here's my left leg. And obviously we're going to try to match the reference here. Okay, in terms of its angle. Okay, so remember that the down frame does touch the ground, right? So we want our frame to touch the ground, and we want it to be a little bit more inward, right? Because again, the left leg is kind of favored toward the front. So this shoe right here on the left leg needs to be a little bit more inward. So let's go ahead and move it more inward. Again, you want it touching the ground and more inward. I'm going to use the path select tool, and I'm going to make it so that it's not squashed, right? Because the foot's off the ground. But we want it to touch the ground. Okay. I'm just going to reduce the squash. Okay, something like that. And now let's go ahead and, did I change the wrong foot? Oh no, I changed the wrong foot. I changed the before one. Let's go ahead and undo this real quickly. That's my mistake. I moved the wrong leg, and this will happen time to time. You're just on the wrong foot. I need to go to the left leg over here and go ahead and move the shoe. So here's my shoe. Again, I'm going to use the rotate tool. Rotate it, move it up, get it to touch the ground. Okay, and I'm going to use my path select tool, and I'm going to go ahead and make this less squashed. Okay, that looks good. Let's go to my left leg. And now that I have the shoe, I don't think I really need, I'll leave it for now. So the left leg looks like it's right here, roughly. Move it right here. And I can turn off the before picture because I don't really need it. My reference is still there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to move my other knots here. Try to keep the same angle. Again, you want to keep the same angle, but you want to keep the right scale. So our leg is going to definitely be a lot skinnier than the other leg because our leg is further in the back. Okay. And this leg is just kind of go toward the back, so I'm just going to kind of put it where the knee would be move this leg over here somewhere. Okay. And this looks kind of awkward, so let's see if I could thicken the leg a little bit. Change the handle to look more natural here. Missed the handle. So I'm just stretching out the handles to make it look as natural as I can. Oop, I accidentally deleted that knot. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off our reference real quick and see what this looks like by itself, and see if we can just alter it a little bit to make it look more realistic. And doesn't look too bad. Looks like the leg could be a little bit more inward like there. Try to get it to look right as much as I can. Try to get over here. Kind of bend it outward a little bit. Give him more of a thigh. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and move the cuff now. There we go. And now the last part is the head, and we're going to be finished. So let's go to the head. And again, we're choosing the head to bobble after the most bobble. So we're going to basically, if the head on the contact frame is the most forward, on the down frame, we're going to move the head a little bit back. And I think I have a feeling I'm on the wrong head. Yes, I'm on the reference. So let's go back over here where I'm supposed to be. There we go. Move the neck here. And go ahead and tilt it back a little bit. That's probably a little bit too much. Okay, something like that. And now if I turn back all the pieces of this Homer, we're going to get the entire picture. Okay, and let's go ahead and turn on frame 13. Turn back its opacity. And there we have it, folks. We are done with our first draft of every single frame. And if you zoom out, this is what we have. Okay, and on the next video, we'll start doing some final touches, kind of making sure that everything looks consistent with legs and arms moving forward. And we'll probably do a little bit more squash and stretch to make our Homer look more realistic. Okay, all right, see you guys.